everybody. Welcome to the show. Mike is here. T-Roy is in the house. What up, T?
Hey, pal.
How are you, buddy?
I'm all right.
Better than yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was fine yesterday. Just a busy day.
Yeah. Those happen.
They do.
I feel
My fault, people. My fault.
No. It's fine if you need a day. But we're in a weird situation. It's just the two of us. That's what people need to understand too. Is like if Jay needed a day when there were 1,000 of those where he had something family going on, he had something hospital related, kid related. E and I could just do it.
Sure.
But you and I are really, he's up north now doing
Yeah.
his summer fucking internship or whatever the hell he's doing at Mackinac.
Ranger Rick.
Yeah, Ranger Isis. But it's just you and I. So when those things happen, it's not like, well, fuck whatever you've got going on in life that's important to you. You get down here. It's like, no.
Yeah.
We have to do. But I also feel, I know some people just want to know. I feel like an idiot every time, like, oh, sorry, there's no show tonight. What am I going to do? Throw Troy under the bus?
That's fine.
I know it is, but it's like, okay, you know what? Just every once in a while, one of us is gonna need a fucking day. I'm sorry, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know what to say about it.
I think that covers it for eternity.
Yeah.
If there's going to be any prolonged, extended absences, then
Yes,
we'll
there you go.
we'll put the word out. But,
Exactly.
Something were to come up. Who knows? Power could have been out. We could have definitely been having some technical difficulties around here.
Yeah. Thank you to Travis for coming over yesterday and doing a bunch of behind the scenes work. It's really Travis's fault because when you came back, we could have knocked the show out really quick, but the timing with Trav coming from work meant it was going to throw off a start time. So,
Yeah, that is true. That is Travis's
and then
fault.
you had to get going. So I say we blame Travis completely. So if
Yeah.
people want to take it up with anyone, take it up with the fucking
That's true.
nerds.
Yeah. I was willing, but
Yeah.
just the timeline didn't allow it.
But hey, we're here today.
Exactly.
That's all that matters.
And we're going to do a doubly good show.
Oh, we're going to try to. We definitely are. I did want to start by saying my mom's an idiot.
Okay.
Yep.
Well.
And look, I don't just come with news like that.
Right.
Out of nothing. Like precedent or something needs to happen in order to establish like, oh shit, my mom's an idiot.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And so I feel like I got that in a couple different ways today.
Oh, really? So you had confirmation.
Confirmation, yeah. And I can have confirmation bias, but in this instance,
Well, sometimes one thing can happen and be like, oh, you're an idiot. But, you got to look at things with a grain of salt. But when they come over the top with a second confirmation, maneuver,
yeah. Okay.
you got to just accept the signs.
I'll lay it out for you, and you can help me decide because you've known my mom for 30 fucking years.
Pat, I love you, but
You've known my mom
I'm
longer
going to be
than that.
fair right down the middle here.
And I expect you to be fair. If this is not idiotic on any level, just tell me, like, Mike, you're too close to this. You really are.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine what she did. No, I have no issue with this. And idiot is a harsh word to call your own mother.
You don't want to formulate this as a Ask T-Roy?
No.
Anonymous emailer?
Nah.
All right, just
No,
checking.
I'll just lay it
Before
out
we
there.
throw her under the bus.
All right, fine. It's an Ask T-Roy. It's an early show.
I'm just
Ask
saying, we
T-Roy.
could have done it anonymously, that's all. But
So-
this is coming right at you, Mom.
I get a text from my mother this morning. Now, the saint of a woman came here for weeks, when I had surgery.
Yeah.
And it was great. My dad's in California. I don't have to worry about the silly old man. I've just got mom there, and her whole focus is like, let's make sure Mikey boy is healthy. I love it. I'm pampered. I'm getting food cooked for me. Well, she's fucked off back to California. So she's there now. And she loves to, in California, she goes on a lot of hikes and walks through trails.
About to come back anyway, aren't they?
Yeah, like in a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But she has a blast, and she'll throw on her iPads and her ear pods, whatever those are. AirPods.
I'm sure she's an AirPod person.
She is an AirPod person, yes. She'll throw those on, and she'll listen to whatever. But she really enjoys listening to us, which is weird. I know that's...
Okay, yeah, you're right. Your mom is an idiot.
Yeah, it's sort of our wheelhouse as far as audience goes, 75-year-old women. But she loves it, and it's kind of her guilty pleasure. And so she texts me today and
I think my
says-
mom already gave up.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, we can be rather offensive. And I'm sure there's times when my mom shuts it off. Like, I don't need to hear about what Mike and Troy were doing in high school while on my watch.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
You know.
You know what you did. So she says, listening to you and Troy, and you guys sound kind of drunk. And I don't think you've been drinking much, Mike. And I'm thinking, the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, But she knows you'll have a cocktail on the show.
Sure.
And I'm like,
Does not qualify drunk, but
no, not in the least.
Yeah.
She says, you guys sound slower, and it almost sounds like you're slurring your words.
okay.
And I was like, okay, well, at this point, I'm getting ready to write back like, well, I wasn't drinking, so I don't know what the fuck you heard. Then she's worried that it's diabetes related. Like, oh, if your sugars drop, this is a common thing that happens, and you can sound slurry, and kind of gives off that vibe of having something to drink on the air.
So I'm drunk, you're beatus.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. And before I could even respond, she texts back and says,
Oh, I had it.
oh my God, I had you guys on the slower speed. It's like, okay.
That was going to be my guess, but okay.
Yeah.
Accidents happen. I don't know how you get there, but
Idiot?
Yeah. No.
Ish. Are you waiting for round 2 to make your decision?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because that's an an excusable offense for sure. Somehow it bumped into a lower
You
speed.
couldn't figure that out before texting me to accuse us of being shit-faced on the air.
Well, if she's texting as she's listening, like, this is weird. Like, you guys sound fucking like that. Texting.
Hammered.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, Mom.
And I wonder
what it sounds like.
We should listen. I know people have done this with like
but normally they listen
George
to like
Bush.
faster.
No. Slow it down. People sound hammered. They do. George Bush, this was famous, like when everyone, because he used to be a cokehead alcoholic. Cokehead, I think. I think he was doing blow. But back in the day, people knew he was a big drinker. And so you could slow down George W. Bush's speeches, and he sounds wasted. You know, he's kind of got that drawl already.
Sure, yeah.
That kind of Texas drawl to his voice. And he could sound that way, but what are you doing? You trying to look us up?
I was gonna, I'm listening. I'm totally listening to you. I was seeing how I don't even know how to slow it down.
Oh, there should be a on the left and right side, like an option for speed. Maybe you need to do it on a website. I don't know.
I got it.
Do you?
Let's see. So if we go to 0.8, you want to hear what we sound like at
Sure.
0.8? Okay. Oh, I want to hear what the intro sounds like. Slow down. Oh my God.
The intro
we must
wasted.
sound full fucking R word.
Yeah.
If we're that slow.
He was like, oh, you guys want to be fucking dickheads? All right, well, there goes your funding. Sorry.
And here's the problem I had with it, too, was the quote, we don't want...
Okay.
About
Yeah. All right. I can see it. That's why I don't want to do that.
I'm not good. You shut up.
Well, I hope that it was only at like the 0.8 that I went down to, and not
Right.
like 0.5.
5. Jesus, Mom, really? You should have been able to solve this mystery
You
before
guys doing
reaching out
Freon
to
again
me.
over there?
Yeah, right? What's going on? So then she sends a group text. And so now she's back on her thing. She's got us in her head
Okay.
on ear pods, and she's going on a hike through trails somewhere in Northern California. So she sends a group text with a picture of a snake. And she's like, found this little guy on my walk today. I picked him up and gently put him back in the grass because it's a dirt trail.
Okay.
And I zoom in, I'm like, pretty sure that's a rattler on the back of that fucking snake. And before I can say it, the warden chimes in and goes, isn't that a rattlesnake? I swear that's a rattle. And I was like, I was thinking the same thing. And she's like, oh, I don't know.
It was making a noise.
It didn't rattle at me. So you fucking picked up a baby rattlesnake and moved it into the grass.
Okay.
And
First
you
of all,
didn't
who
realize it was
even-
who right?
Picks up snakes anyways. I like snakes, and I wouldn't just
Dude.
fucking pick up a random fucking snake. Like, just keep moving.
Dude.
Okay. Yeah, let me see.
Okay. Zoom into its ass end. That is a fucking rattlesnake.
Holy fucking shit. Yeah, it
You
is.
see the rattle?
No way. You got to be shitting me. Is she
What?
fucking with you that she picked this thing up?
No, dude.
Dude, that's 100% a fucking rattlesnake.
Yeah.
I don't even.
And it's I mean, it's
That's
not
still-
as, it's big, but it's not.
I mean, that's still over 2 feet. I mean, that's not
yeah.
like a 6-inch baby. Like,
No,
oh,
no,
goo,
no.
goo, gaga, rattle, rattle.
Dude, those are the ones you
Oh.
really need to worry about too, because
Holy shit.
they haven't figured out the control of their venom yet. Baby rattlesnakes will fucking kill you. A baby rattlesnake is way more dangerous than an adult one, because the adults apparently know the level of what. But dude, that is clear as day a fucking rattle at the end of that snake. And
Yeah,
it's
it
like,
is. And I mean, just the marking on it. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, that looks like a. And then okay, and not that I'm any sort of expert, but.
Dude, it says, saw this little guy on my trail. I picked him up and put him in the grass, red heart. And then the warden comes in and goes, isn't that a rattler? And she goes, you're supposed to tell me. He didn't rattle. I think there are rattlers in the area, though.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God is right.
All right,
And then she writes back, there's a rattle at the end of him. Yikes. I was like,
Holy shit.
So can we call her an idiot now?
Wow, or she's just a fucking badass. Maybe she's just like super fucking man. Like, over there, young man.
Dude,
off my trail.
Unless you're like a naturist, an outdoors person. Like,
Still.
I get it. But
If you were, you'd know not to pick up the fucking rattlesnake.
right. But even if you did see like your garden variety snake or whatever.
It's a garter
I mean,
snake.
why wouldn't you just let it fucking go on its way? You get close to it, it's just gonna.
He looks like he's moving. Right, exactly.
He's half in the path and half on the grass.
Yeah, you're not like taking a hike on the fucking freeway, are you? Like,
Yeah,
you're up
no.
in the mountains, like in his area, right?
Yeah,
Like
100%.
dude was like, "Fuck, I was going the other way, bitch. Why
Yeah.
did you put me back here?"
Yeah, and why did you pick me up? And why didn't I bite your ass?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh my
that thing would
goodness.
be so fast and turn around and snap onto your hand.
I wonder how she picked it up. Who the fuck? Oh my God!
I know.
Who picks up a snake?
Who picks up a snake?
Who picks up a
period?
snake? Period. I mean, even if you got like a stick and we're like, shoot,
No,
go
leave
on,
it
little
alone.
guy.
Why are you starting a fight, picking a fight with a fucking snake?
Mom,
Let alone a rattler.
Mom, look, Linda, listen. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Picking up even if you like, even if it were a garter snake.
Yeah.
Like, I know a garter snake. I
Yeah.
know it's harmless.
And they could be like this big, garter
Yeah,
snakes, little
yeah,
tiny head,
yeah.
you pick it up. Hopefully she picked it up by the neck and tail.
Get right? Because you better just like bash, just snap him right there. You know, like
Yeah.
gets his mouth open and shit. Like, here, little buddy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad that your mother's still with us
Yeah, so am
because
I.
we could have just lost Pat.
Yeah.
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 Holy shit.
So-
That's
I mean, if that's not a couple examples of someone like at least slipping a tad,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Right. When's her license up for renewal?
I have no idea.
All
but
right. How do we check that? Let's
Yeah.
check the cognitive abilities. Make
Yeah.
sure everything's still in
I
check.
feel like she's on point with just
See,
about
well,
everything. She
I-
seems
right.
dialed in.
You know, and then you do shit like that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
don't know.
that should have ended with a phone call from my dad saying, "Are you sitting down?"
Right?
You know what I mean? Like, I have some terrible news to share with
Well,
you.
that's it, right, exactly. And I mean, who knows? Like, if she's out by herself in the middle of nowhere.
Oh my
like,
God!
gee,
Yeah,
It's one
Which
thing.
she
if-
is. My dad's not going on a walk.
Fuck,
You fucking
no.
kidding me?
Right? He'd be
No.
all pissed.
Yeah.
Fucking Patty, where is my fucking dinner? You know,
Yeah.
it's 4:00.
And you know how he would
Big
find
Bob
out?
likes to eat at 4:00, Patty.
Yeah. You know how he would find out too. He'd go on his He'd go on his iPad or whatever, and he'd search for her fucking phone.
Yeah. Like,
And he'd be
what?
like, "Why is she in the middle of the?"
Oh, she must have lost her
Wilderness.
phone. Or it's not moving. She must have lost her phone. She's probably looking for it.
What would that do if a rattlesnake bit a 75-year-old?
But she's got to be. There's nothing right around the house. Like, she's got to drive somewhere to go to
Which she
trails.
does.
Right. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
So it's not even like at your brother's where you can just go out the back and
yeah.
up the trails. Like
100%.
She's got
And
to
I've seen
drive
snakes-
somewhere to get to the trail. So
Yes.
she's not even anywhere near.
Yeah,
home.
she's in the heart of Silicon Valley in Sunnyvale.
yeah.
So there's not. It's not like G's where you're right. I walked outside. I'm on
Yeah.
a dirt
Hop
trail.
the fence and you're walking a trail.
Gone. You're walking around a mountain, and I ran into snakes and fucking weird bugs and
Yeah.
shit like murder hornet.
How many did you pick up?
None.
Oh, good.
Zero.
And hence you're still here.
Dude, yeah.
Nice.
And it was like, no. And it freaks you out, too, because around here, if we're walking, you're just not going to see much. Man, a grasshopper would flip me out, though. Like, oh, Jesus,
Yeah.
little man, I didn't even see you there. But out there, it's common to see the lizards dart across the path, and they'll startle you.
You know what I saw driving to work the other morning? I didn't mention it. Going up Franklin Road. A giant fucking rat running across
Really?
the road. A giant.
You sure it was a rat? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I had pretty good headlights on it. It ran right out in front of the truck. I mean,
my
it was
God.
the body was about that fucking long.
They can get huge,
yeah,
man.
yeah, about a foot fucking body and then almost a foot fucking tail on it.
Wow.
Yeah, because a rat's a rat. Like it doesn't. There's nothing
Yeah.
else that really looks and runs like a rat.
Yeah.
running across.
Are
the
they
road like
friendly?
that. I
mean, you're not going to go pick one up. but
no, I wouldn't.
I think they are.
Yeah,
I think you can have mice and rats as pets, and they can be docile, I guess.
We used to
I don't
feed them
know.
to the snakes. We'd
Yeah.
fuck with them for a while. Like I said, I used to.
But those guys were frozen.
No,
A lot of them.
No,
Ed's you talking about? We fed Ed snake?
yeah. Well, I mean, I've had snakes. I fed them live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would Ed, but Ed would a lot of times get frozen mice.
Yeah. Well,
Some snakes won't go after it, though.
They won't, but that's supposed to get them out of the kill mode. It's feeding them without having to kill it, so it's supposed to kind of chill them out a little bit. That's
Really?
kind of the point of that.
He had a python.
Yeah.
Burmese python.
His was a Burmese. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was a ball.
Okay. Why don't I remember that? Was it before I was around?
No.
God,
How do you not remember my snake?
I don't know. I remember some of Derek's quirky animals. He had a weasel and remember that big iguana? What was that guy's name? Iggy Pop or Sid Vicious?
Sid Vicious.
He had Sid Vicious.
Yep.
And Sid broke out of the house one day and hanging in a tree.
Monty
and then gone.
was the python.
Monty the python, yep.
I don't know. Whatever.
My mind's going.
It is.
Anyway, so
I'm glad your mother's still with us.
Yeah, so
And
am I.
I'm going to go.
you can call her an idiot.
Yeah.
She knows she deserves it.
You deserve that for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So at least she's still with us. Boy, oh boy, there's been a lot of discussion and a lot of non-answers about Tucker Carlson, which just leads to a lot of speculation from people. And it's kind of cool to see, there's all kinds of articles being written from everybody.
I'm surprised he hadn't put out a statement.
Well, it's funny. He went to dinner last night with his wife, who he's been married to for like 30 years, right? She's too skinny. One of those, too tan, too skinny, like you've been in Florida too long. But they're in a golf cart, and he's all shits and grins, and they're going to dinner, and he's like, something like, yeah, I haven't been able to go to dinner with my wife on a, work night in 20 years or whatever. So
It's like TMZ tracking him down in the.
probably Daily
golf
Mail, something. But they were asking him like, "Oh, what do you think? So and so's celebrating you being fired." And he said something like, "Yeah, I bet they are," something along those lines. But that's it. So it's like he breaks his silence. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't know if that counts.
Farted.
But
Broke his silence.
yeah. This is a weird one though. This is a weird one because of everything I personally know about entertainment employment. And how this one goes down, like these people are like, oh yeah, he's too X or he's too this, and they've had enough. Those arguments were not made when you're the number one anything. When you're number one, you can get away with fucking murder.
Right.
And I know that from a local level. Put it on a national level, he's the king.
Yeah.
He just is. You don't have to like him. You don't have to like his opinions.
Yeah, I didn't realize
But
that-
everyone watched him.
He was like, is it number 1 or number 2 like rated show?
Yeah.
Like since 2020, I think that was
Yeah.
what I heard or something like primetime show.
And it's not even close.
Yeah, like that was staggering. I didn't realize I knew he was doing good numbers and he was doing better numbers than the other thing. I didn't realize like the number one show on television type
Oh,
numbers.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
those kind of numbers.
Yeah. Well, he's getting 3.5 million. So many people tried to go, oh, him and Don Lemon both fired in the same day. What about it's like, if you think there's anything
Right.
even remotely close about the two firings, you couldn't be further off. One has the number one cable show in the history of cable television. Mm-hmm. Okay? And that would be Tucker Carlson, not Don Lemon. Don Lemon is one of the dumbest people in the history of television, one of the biggest egos in television, and doesn't get an audience.
Wow. That's pretty crazy too.
What?
I just Googled what are the top 5 rated cable news shows. I did shows, but it came up as
Are they doing
shows.
demographics like 1834, 2554, that kind of thing?
I Googled highest rated show on cable, and then this came up. Here are the top rated cable news shows for Q1 of 23.
Okay.
The top 4 are all Fox.
Yeah.
The 5 is number 1, then Tucker, then Jesse, then Hannity.
What?
That's
The 5 is number one?
according to this. Yep.
What is the
TV Newser.
okay. Yeah.
It's not FoxNews.com. Well, wow.
What?
Wow. if this is correct,
Probably.
I'll assume this was just a basic, and this was a Google search.
Yep.
I'm just going to go network. All right.
Yep.
Fox, MSNBC, Fox, MSNBC.
Are you shitting me?
No.
So what are those, like Maria Bartiromo or something?
After Hannity, then it's Brett Baer, Ingram, Gutfeld, Outnumbered, America's Newsroom, and then Alex Wagner and Maddow is the first MSNBC.
Wow, that's like the
That's
full
number 10.
day landscape.
Yeah.
When you're talking about Brett Baer and Outnumbered.
And then it goes off to that.
Those are day parts.
Faulkner, Cavuto,
Yep.
America Reports, Martha McCallum.
Yep.
Yeah, holy shit.
Holy shit. Part of that is, the lack of choices.
Well, right, exactly. And that's part of it too, right? Because the rest of it is spread out between CNBC, MSNBC, CNN.
It should really be MSNBC and CNN. And Fox, those three. So if you wanted to argue CNN and MSNBC are splitting an audience, you could make that argument, but their numbers are so fucking bad.
Yeah, that it's not even 2 to 1.
That it's not even 2 to 1. And there are other choices. Here's the thing with Tucker. You don't have to like him, but he's a good journalist. He's a good reporter and does good TV.
Wait, I thought he's not a journalist.
He actually is a journalist.
Well, I understand that, but wasn't
did
his lawyer say that he's not a journalist? One of his suits or whatever that was?
Maybe.
I think that he's not a journalist, so he's not held to those sort of standards, so he can get away with saying things that are a little...
he's an opinion. They
more
try to
op-ed type stuff. He's a personality, not a...
Which is true, but I think his background credential is in journalism. I mean, he started Daily... What was it? One of those. Like, he's got a media empire that he's started. He's been a part of all of it. The cool thing is, though, a lot of people have come out and said what a fucking genuine and awesome guy Tucker is. Mm-hmm. You don't see these stories very often.
No, usually they get shit on.
Usually it's like, they
line up to fucking...
Right, which makes it easier to lock in your opinion of someone that you don't like being a bad guy. People come out of the woodwork to go, Don Lemon fucking... vigorously rubbed his balls and jammed his fingers into my mustache. You know what I mean? Like, they can't wait to pile on, and it's kind of hard to pile on Tucker Carlson.
We're even on that, by the way.
What? Vigorously?
I thought about it, yeah. I remembered it after the fact that it was vigorously.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Vigorously. That was the best part about it.
Right. I was thinking he vigorously rubbed it in his face.
No.
But I remembered it. But I was right on the Utah.
Yeah, you were. Fuck. So, no one is sure what it means for his future. Don't worry about Tucker's future.
He'll be fine.
He'll be just fine. My guess is someone at the Blaze, someone at Daily Wire.
Well, did you hear?
Will offer him $200 million.
Yeah, I just saw he got an offer from OAN.
Did he? Okay.
I think it was $25 million
a year.
But that was to be like the program director or something like that of something for OAN.
He's better off going independent. Go Blaze, go Daily Wire.
Yeah.
He could call he's already got total fuck you money.
Sure. He could probably go the fucking Rogan route.
100%.
Just do a podcast.
Yes.
And do different little shit here and there.
Yep. He could. So this guy, people are sharing their stories about him. When I first moved to DC, Tucker heard it was my first Thanksgiving away from home. I had just gone through a divorce and my kids were on the other side of the country. He invited me to his home, and I enjoyed Thanksgiving with his father, his wife, his children, and his dogs. Larry O'Connor wrote, radio personality. They treated me like I was a part of the family. It turned what would have been a sad and lonely day into one I'll never forget. His family is full of joy and love and laughter. Tucker is the winner today. Someone else says, Tucker Carlson is genuinely one of the kindest, most down-to-earth people I have ever met in my life. When I had the opportunity to meet him a few months ago, he greeted me as if we were best friends for a lifetime. This is Jamie Mitchell, founder of Gays Against Groomers. I will forever be grateful to this man for having me on his show just 3 months after I launched Gays Against Groomers. He continued to amplify and promote our work by having me on another 3 times after that. He also personally reached out to me and has been offering his support, advice, and friendship. He didn't have to do that, but he saw how critical our voices are in the fight to end the war on children. Someone else says, Fox News will not continue to exist without him. There's no reason to tune in anymore, but he will thrive and dominate wherever he goes. I agree with that. This might mark the end of Fox News, because honestly, there's a lot of good journalists there, especially if you lean a little conservative. I get it.
Yeah.
I get the people that hate him too.
Well, the only reason I question that now, I would have agreed with you probably 4 minutes ago. Mm-hmm. But after looking that up and realizing that the base is just there. Now, whether Tucker brings them there and they watch everything else because of that, I don't know that those kind of numbers are going to jump ship because he's gone. True. So that's too strong. If it was Tucker and then everybody else and then something else on Fox, probably.
Well, you're going to make your bones on primetime stuff. So in radio, morning radio's the thing. Like drive time. Yeah. People are in their cars during 5 o'clock rush hour. You want that audience because they're kind of stuck there with you, and so that's a big payday time slot. Morning radio can be a very, very, very big payday. Or it used to, not anymore. But in TV, you want that fucking primetime audience.
Of course.
So a lot of those things you're talking about when you're talking about, they're all afternoon, morning, late morning, afternoon type talent, which just isn't going to pay like a Tucker Carlson time slot should pay. Now, there's been so many boycotts, that outside of MyPillow, you can't do the pharmaceutical companies in those primetime slots.
Yeah.
Because, they're on everyone else, and Tucker was the only one that would bag on them. Mm-hmm. He would fucking call out Big Pharma nightly, and that might be, honestly, it could be something like that got him bounced.
Maybe.
Seriously.
The timing is just odd of it all.
It's weird.
And the circumstances are weird.
And it seems very unexpected.
Right. Well, exactly. Like the fact that, he's been your fucking GOAT for years.
Yeah.
And to do it so unceremoniously like that and not, either give him a farewell tour or, a golden parachute.
They just don't do that. They're so worried.
Yeah,
these oversized personalities, which you have to be fronting something like that. The fear is they're going to go out, guns a-blazing, and you give them that last, like, hey, we tried to have a celebration party. But that works if you're retiring, not in your prime when you're murdering.
Well, I understand. I mean, I don't know the circumstances. I mean, he was just shit-canned, or if it was in any way mutual, if he was like, fuck you guys, I can't believe you settled, you pieces of shit, I'm out.
Yeah.
Whatever. But the only reason that doesn't really hold water is because, well, Twitter, for what it's worth now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? His followers are his followers. He if he wants to shit on you, he'll shit on you. And it doesn't have to be on your airwaves.
Right.
He'll shit on you. Yeah. So there's a right and a wrong way to handle things. Mm-hmm. And it just, like I said, just the timing and it just seems weird.
It does. And it I can tell you he wasn't aware of it. Like the way he signed off on Friday.
You have the pizza guy on there.
Yeah,
I watched that. It was a great segment, and that's where it goes back to like him.
The guy brought it pizza on the set.
Yeah, being likable. You know what I mean, and actually being that's a really good little bit of him with the sausage and pineapple, which I love.
Dude, which was hilarious. I can't believe you remember the toppings. I remember it was like a weird combo.
Sausage and pepper and pineapple.
I've never had that.
Yeah. Do you know what that? The dude was. Pizza guy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There was a car chase, for those that don't know. There was a high-speed car chase, and this pizza delivery guy was up, and a Ring doorbell caught it. So the lady answers the door, the guy answers the door, she's like, oh, my God, that's a high-speed chase. Coming down her street.
Yeah.
And this car, stops, and the guy jumps out of his car. Younger black kid, I think. And
odd.
So the cops pull him behind. This kid jumps out of the car and starts hightailing like he's going to make a break for it on foot. And the pizza guy is standing there holding the pizzas and just sticks his leg out and trips the fuck out of the guy.
Yeah.
And it was enough the cops were able to pounce, get their guy. Yeah. And so Tucker's like, employee of the month, bring this guy in. And so it was silly bit. Bring the guy in.
No, exactly. He brought in pizzas from Coco's Pizza, got him a plug, tell the little story a little bit. It was just a throwaway segment at the end of the show or whatever. But it was
we revealed his favorite pizza, which pineapple and sausage. I've never heard of that.
Delicious.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The sweet and the spicy.
Yeah, it's great. We should, in honor of Tucker, we should order one of those.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think that's what we need
You know, my boy Freddie does not even have pineapple. We've had knockdown dragouts.
Really?
This guy's got fucking 8 kinds of olives. This moron. But
Well, I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
Dude, you got pizza, I don't know, a couple months ago for us. You ordered a couple pizzas and unbeknownst to me. So we tend to honor each other. Like, I know how T feels about olives. He knows how I feel about mushrooms. And so as long as those two things fuck off, we can generally live in harmony with our pizza choices. But you had gotten like a pepperoni bacon or something, and then another one where it was ham and pineapple. And I had a slice of each, and I was like, that might be the greatest fucking ham and pineapple pie I've ever. I haven't had that in 20 years. And remember when I went to town on it and I fucking ate almost all of it? You were like, well,
that one was mine, fucker.
Someone's a fan of
I got you the pepperoni and pepperoncinis, but okay.
I didn't know, but it was delicious. So I am not going to say a bad word about sausage and pineapple.
No, it's a very unlikely hero.
Yeah, yeah. I got to tell you, as someone who's been a fan of Tucker for a few years, I never was aware of him during the bow tie days. But on primetime, I'll give him his props. And there are times when it's like, oh, go get him, Tucker. And he takes an opposite view on something about wars, stuff that typical Republicans aren't supposed to take.
Yeah.
And it's like, but he'll make you think. He's changed my opinion on certain things, a lot like Jimmy Dore has. Make your argument. And I don't care if you're a liberal douche, if your argument is sound. And I've followed Jimmy on numerous things. Like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. You explain that better than anyone else has. I don't know if it's right, but I understand where you're coming from. That's the power of debate and conversation.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Exactly. But
not just being told what to think and without why. What
sucks for most of these guys, after the fact, then you start hearing from all the worms in the industry or behind the curtains that are like, oh yeah, he just fucking beat us all down every day.
Well, there is some of that.
A little bit. But, and I'll get to some of that. But I think this is great that there are even stories about like people all over saying nice things. Tucker sent me a text message out of the blue several years ago just to tell me he appreciates my work. I had a much lower profile back then. I didn't think he even knew who I was. He took the time to track my number down and reach out. Very few people like that in this business. Matt Walsh, who did the...
What is a woman?
Exactly. Extremely rare that someone much higher on the totem pole will send you a word of encouragement when they stand to gain nothing from it. There are only a few people in the business who will do something like that, and one of them is Tucker Carlson. Great talent and a good man. And then this video started to go viral, and I'll let you watch this. And you got to think, this would be really hard to do if someone's filming you, and they're in your space. To not be like, fuck are you doing, man? Why do you have a kid? Like, that would be really, really hard not to do. But you see the way, and Tucker's getting a lot of praise for this. And this goes back, I don't know, what, a couple of years or a year.
This isn't, let's see.
So he's fly fishing.
How you doing?
Great.
I didn't know you could fish here.
What is that?
Huh?
What is that?
What is that?
It's called a video camera.
Oh,
I didn't know you could fish here.
you can?
You can?
Yeah.
What are you fishing for?
Are you videotaping me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
This guy sounds like a fucking moron.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
Total New York.
Right?
This is Central Park.
Waiting to hear.
Yeah.
You ain't from around here, boy.
you're in public, I can.
Well, I know you can.
Okay.
I'm not challenging your right. I just
Okay.
want to know why you
I find it interesting that you're fishing in Central Park. I do a lot of funny stuff, though. One of the things is I prank the media.
Really?
Yeah, I mess with them. I'm like kind of a media terrorist.
What's your favorite cable channel?
My favorite to like actually watch news? CNN. I watch them the most. I also like Current. Current TV's good.
Uh-huh.
They have a lot of interesting angles. It's very left, though.
It is. Do you like Oberman?
I like Keith. He's good.
You watch Fox?
I watch Fox. I like to get my news from all over, and then I make up my mind in between all that.
That's probably a good way to do it.
Yeah, you know, it's worked out for me.
That's great.
Turns out the guy is Tucker Carlson from Fox News.
I love that he's fucking fly fishing in a fucking button-down shirt.
Yeah, I know. Very, very Tucker.
Right?
But this continues.
Okay, yeah, we can keep going.
And Tucker, the guy's like, "What are you fishing for? What are you fishing with?" You know, you can watch it. It's great.
I just didn't
We're not going to get fucking copyrighted here, are we?
recognize
I
I
have
didn't
no
have on the
idea.
snazzy bow tie.
Fuck
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
fuck you, Joey Boots.
Yeah, that might be a Stern guy. Joey
yeah.
Boots. Who knows?
Whatever. What are you doing over
What are you
here?
doing, eh?
Hey, can you fish over here? I don't even know.
The fun thing is, you know, there have been guys that have been blown out from a lot of you know, you think Bill O'Reilly. You know, Bill O'Reilly's a big brass name. He's got his podcast that he's doing now, and I'm sure he does fine. He's written 1,000 books and all that. But you know, the stories that come out about him is like fucking wants to have hot chicks on his staff that he can harass, and then
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, meet me in my hotel room, and yeah, what are you doing with a loofah? And you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, creepy old fucking man. Like those stories, as much as they wish they'd exist for Tucker Carlson, they
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah,
You know,
there's murmurs of what the environment was like there or whatever, but
Yeah.
I haven't heard a whole lot of details.
well, I'll tell you who.
What wasn't he? Didn't he get a? I was thinking that was a different video. Didn't somebody come at him in like a Cracker Barrel or some shit? Sometime,
Probably.
so like videoing him and getting in his face or
Yeah.
something. I was trying to remember how he handled that one, but
Yeah.
that's one I was thinking.
And they probably get that a lot. Those tend to be rewarded and picked up everywhere.
Exactly.
So you see him harassing people at dinner. I hate when they do that. I honestly do. I don't think there's any point to it. Just to be disruptive for the sake of being disruptive. You know, it's like I get it. You know that it comes with the territory of being a public figure. But if you're just out with your wife and kids, like
Right.
I get it. You think you're the only one that's come up. Just take a second. Can I get a quick photo? Shit like that.
Right.
But
Every
it,
2 seconds.
But it happens a lot. It's really hard. In fact, it was funny. I saw on Twitter. It was Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and he's got this tweet thing going where he's like, "Here's the reality of life as an awesome rock star," or something like that. And he starts talking about how all of a sudden he's in Hollywood or wherever he's at shopping and realizes, oh fuck, I got to take a shit right now. And so he goes and the bathroom's locked and he's asking the employees for a key or something and like, employees only can use it. And he's like, fuck. So he's like, I start duck walking across the street. Immediately people recognize me. They want pictures. And I'm going to shit my pants. I'm literally going to shit my pants. And I've got to get across the street.
Emergency mode.
Yeah. And people are like, Flea, you would have been. He's like, fuck. Click. Run across the street. And finally makes it there at the last second, drops trow and, unloads in the toilet. But he's like, this is the sunny side of rock star that you don't see.
Yeah, you can't do anything. Ever.
Yeah, can you imagine in that moment, you're most vulnerable. You're like, oh God, no one see me, no one. And it's like, of course.
Yeah.
Who's not going to recognize Flea?
I guess that's sort of the beauty and the ugliness of LA is that everybody's there.
Yeah.
So it's not quite as as crazy. Like it's around here, anywhere else, you see somebody, it's like a huge fucking deal. There you see people all the time.
Remember how weird it was when we had when Dave Coulier came over? And
Everybody's star fucking over here.
yeah, but his wife Melissa was like, I mean, she was telling us off the air. We were talking to her forever, and she's great. But
Wonder if she goes down him in the theater.
She told us that real story too about the Alanis Morissette song. But no, she was saying how different it was being in Detroit versus LA.
Oh yeah, I bet.
And how like people just ghost my husband in LA.
Say in LA,
Like,
he's
it's
nobody.
nothing.
Right.
But around here, it's like a big deal. And to have strange women run up and bear hug your husband and kiss him, and like she wasn't used to that at all.
Yeah, right.
It's like, well, yeah, it's Midwest versus one of the coasts.
Yeah, well, your money goes a lot farther here.
There is a woman who, a booking producer who filed a lawsuit last month against, they say Tucker Carlson, but it sounds like it's more against Fox in general. Her name is Abby Grossberg. She was fired shortly after she filed 2 separate lawsuits against the network. So she did an interview with MSNBC, and she's really bitching about the showrunner or the executive producer, Justin Wells.
Okay.
He's a longtime producer of Tucker's. She said the moment she found out he was fired, there was just feelings of yes. And then also, well, I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody. I'm sure you get that feeling.
Yeah, you want it both ways.
At the same time, Tucker and his executive producer, Justin Wells, who was also fired, really were responsible for breaking me and making my life a living hell. So there is a feeling of justice, but it's only partial. I was hoping it would be more professional, and what he was portraying on air was just a show, and unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So there's 79-page discrimination suit. Carlson fostered an environment where unprofessionalism reigned supreme, and the staff's distaste and disdain for women infiltrated almost every workday decision. She claims she was personally subject to anti-Semitism by Andrew McCaskill, a senior producer, because he installed. Okay, this is tough to listen to. I even some of this stuff even rattles me.
Trigger warning.
Yeah. So if it's something that's going to rattle my cage, it's only fair that I, warn you guys.
Yeah.
Listen at your own. But anyways, so she's got all this anti-Semitism. This guy installed a preposterous Christmas display in the booking area.
No way.
Yeah, I swear to God.
Please tell me it wasn't a tree.
And she's Jewish. I mean, can you get a little more anti-Semitic? Wow. Why didn't he just cart her off to Auschwitz?
Holy cow.
You know what I mean?
Get on the train.
Yeah, did you, I mean, honest to God, did he put a star on the top of it? What are we talking about?
Would it count if you put a Star of David on top of a Christmas tree?
Yeah, that could have been just fucking with her, though. Could have been. I don't know.
Right. Hey, look at that way up there. You can't reach it.
He installed a preposterous Christmas display in the booking area despite he even knew she was a Jew. And still, the audacity. I told you, folks, this is going to be a rough ride. Listen to some of this stuff.
I'm at loss for words.
Yeah.
I can't believe what a monster
Yeah.
would do that.
He also put a sign up that read Hanukkah Bush, which she took as a personal insult.
But did she not shave?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay.
Or if it's like Christmas has a tree, what do you have at Hanukkah? And it's like, 8 crazy nights, we have a bush. Yeah, the Hanukkah bush.
A sign that said Hanukkah bush? When she bitched about the tree, he was like, here's your Hanukkah bush.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Slapped it right on her fucking stomach. Bush of Hanukkah bush with an arrow pointing down.
Under mistletoe.
You know how sometimes they'll have like one of those like road signs with the crossed sign says like North Pole,
Yes.
8,000 miles that way, and Detroit, 400 miles that way. If the sign would have been like Christmas tree this way and Auschwitz that way,
yeah, that'd be a problem.
then it's like, oh, okay, got a weird sense of humor. I get it, lady.
Yeah,
really, Ms. Grossberg.
so far I'm not team Jew.
She also claims that while deciding the framework of Carlson's primetime show, producers, including Mr. Wells, chose female guests based on their appearance and made inappropriate remarks about women colleagues.
Oh, so they put attractive women on TV?
Yeah.
Huh. That's probably the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah.
In the history of TV.
Crazy.
Unbelievable. Who would do such
how
a
that
thing?
works.
Yeah.
Huh. They also, the office was plastered with blown up photographs of Nancy Pelosi in a plunging bathing suit, revealing her cleavage.
Yeah.
We've all seen that picture. It's hilarious.
I wish I didn't, but yes.
Yeah. Apparently, the joke was that Speaker Pelosi looked terrible in a bathing suit. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the joke. Yeah.
That is the joke. Was that too much for you?
Yeah. It's not even a joke. That's just
Just an old lady with giant tits and a bathing suit on a beach. Okay. However will you survive, ma'am? In another instance, Grossberg claims she was hauled into Wells' office where he asked. So the job she had before being a booking agent or whatever on Tucker's show, and why that was a promotion to go to primetime, she used to work behind the scenes with Maria Bartiromo. And so they yanked her into the office, as boys are known to do, and asked if Bartiromo was fucking Kevin McCarthy.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you would know. Is she fucking Kevin McCarthy?
So that
Apparently that's
crossed the line.
Yeah.
Well, was this like Tell me, are they doing it? You seen him?
Was his dick out in his hand?
Cock? What's she got? She got landing strip. What's she doing over there? Does she have Hanukkah bush? What are we talking? But or is this like part of an investigation? Like, do we have a problem here? Is this like those other two assholes?
No, it's probably just a little gossipy in the office. Would be my guess.
Just curious.
And you've got a lot of big names and powerful people in and out all the time, weaving in and out. And if rumor is bouncing around the hallways that Maria Bartiromo was fucking blowing Kevin McCarthy, that's juicy as shit. Doesn't mean they're going to go report it, but I could see dragging someone in going, oh, are those rumors we're hearing about Kevin McCarthy and Maria, are those true? Any truth to those? You know? I don't know that I see the problem there.
I don't see
79-page lawsuit.
79 pages of this dribble.
In general, she claims there was a pervasive culture of misogyny at the show, and she was ignored when she suggested balancing segments by adding female guests.
Only the hot ones.
Yeah, well...
Depends on what they look like in a bathing suit.
You know what a lot of people would say too, ma'am?
Stay in your lane.
Either that. Yeah, stay right in your fucking lane.
You have a job. You do your job.
You showed up on the doorstep of the #1 cable show in the history of cable news. Yeah. Fall in line or fuck off.
Yeah, you didn't build this.
Yeah, we have a formula that seems to be working. Did I mention #1 in everything?
Yeah, ask Bud Light how that's going.
Exactly, exactly.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
She described a crass and sexist discussion about whether Gretchen Whitmer was hotter or more fuckable than Tudor Dixon.
Oh, well, guilty.
Wait, are you sure she wasn't in here?
Yeah, right.
When she heard that, she might be mixing up shows.
Oh, we should be getting that subpoena any day now.
Right? This is why we don't hire women.
Yeah, smart.
Dude.
Okay.
You know, this sucks. I guess if the idea is men being boys will be boys, like there's a line, obviously. You know what I mean? If you're hiring someone.
I haven't heard that crossed yet, but yes.
No, but they're moving that line. Like, this is a problem. He put up a Christmas tree in the fucking booking area.
I can't believe that even made the fucking paper.
Right?
You had to throw the anti-Semitic in there just to get a little sympathy.
I'm Jewish.
Hoping the judge is a Jew. Oh,
yeah.
Be a Jew, judge. Be a Jew.
And I don't understand how that's an insult anyways. Like, if you brought in the Hanukkah menorah and they threw it out the window and pissed on it, I guess you could go, well, they seemed a little anti-Semitic. I brought this in. You know, they had their Christmas tree. I brought in a menorah and put it on my desk.
Right.
They threw it out, stomped on it, and pissed on it. Seemed like they had a problem with Jews. You go, yeah, you know, that seems a little out of line.
Yeah.
But
wondering where the Kwanzaa suit's going to come. Oh, they don't have any black guys at Fox News.
Yeah,
you're fine. Don't worry about it.
Fuck that. Yeah, and that discussion about Gretchen Whitmer versus Tudor Dixon.
I mean, who didn't? Who hasn't had that conversation?
Honestly, who hasn't?
Yeah. I'm glad that it reached outside of state lines.
I got to say, T, and I mean this. I understand there's a culture shift, and the idea of misogyny is like, you know, between the Me Too movement and misogyny claims, they're getting watered down to the point of like this, like, oh my God, they knew I was Jewish and they put up a Christmas tree anyways. Like, oh my God, how will I ever survive?
Yeah.
Is there not a level, like I've been in as big a circus show as you can be in with mostly guys. Trudy did great. Trudy came in, understood the role, knocked the ball around. She can still do it today. She's the fucking best in the business at it, right? She's got that voice. And she never complained about all the sexist shit she probably went through through her career going back to Sacramento. I mean, probably saw and was asked outrageous shit. But this idea that, you know, like we all need to sit at our desks in the most professional manner and be like, sir, I think I've booked so-and-so to be a guest on the show Tuesday night at 8:30. Does that work? And then that's it. We don't have any fun. We don't joke. We don't fuck with each other. That's what guys do, right? Like, I don't, and maybe I'm just a dinosaur, and my thinking is the whole problem with America. But I don't want to be in a work environment with guys that you can't fucking dick around with a little bit.
I mean, there's a difference between fucking around and, like I say, crossing the line.
I'll give you a promotion to executive producer if you suck my dick. That's a problem.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, and I mean, even just being overtly sexist or vulgar.
What if you're
around
telling a
women,
story
things
about
like that.
growing up and some wild pussy hunt you went on?
I mean, that's if you're telling a story is one thing, and it
Is it though, or is that totally inappropriate?
probably. I mean, it depends on who you're telling it to and what the temperature of the room is. I
Yeah.
mean, sure, there's things that it probably even if it's real and it's probably not appropriate to say things in front of other people.
Yeah.
It's just a reality. But is that a fucking lawsuitable offense? No,
I wouldn't think
shouldn't
so.
be.
And maybe Troy, this is absolutely 100% a possibility that I spent my entire career, right, my entire adult life, really, working on a show that was so big and powerful, locally speaking, before the internet, and you had access to every show that's ever existed. It was a different animal, and we were in our own world.
Oh, yeah.
And the shit that was done off air that made it onto the air were the salad story never comes out from Mike Clark. Like he was horrified of that story,
Yeah.
and told it to me on the porch, having a smoke break one day, and I was laughing. So I'm like, I talked him into telling that. I'm like, dude, you have to fucking tell that story. He's like, no, everyone's gonna think I'm just some alky fucking loser. I'm like, dude, fuck that. That story is 5-star funny. Literally came back from break and told that story. And it's legendary.
Yeah.
So just throwing the ball around, fucking with each other, talking about which chick you'd fuck first, Tudor Dixon or Gretchen Whitmer. Like maybe I was just so engulfed in that world. Now, did we ever cross the line with female employees? I would say no. That there were never like, I'll give you an internship if you fucking go out.
Well,
with
that's
me,
not.
or-
Yeah, but again, you have to define the line, right?
Right,
I mean, that's absolutely crossing the line, and that's always crossed the line.
Which one?
Quid pro quo.
Oh yeah,
That's always crossed the line. Even when it was somewhat just barely frowned upon, the old
Yeah.
Mad Men days, that kind, whatever the fuck.
What do you think about this one? So we'd have like a 23-year-old, and it would be like they would pre-screen at a lot of these schools. They knew the show, and so whether it was Specs Howard or Oakland University or Michigan State,
Go Grizz.
and we got plenty from Oakland. They would usually weed through for us, like these students, fuck them, but here's a couple students that might be good, and there were some that were gorgeous, 23-year-old girls, and Mike, get over here, sit on Daddy's lap.
Yeah.
But that's as far as that went. There was no like, oh yeah, he's back in his office again with a youngster. You're like, no, never. That cannot be said about a lot of places.
No, I'm not saying.
But Drew and Mike never crossed that line unless you go, well, just having a girl sit on your lap, maybe she played it off like she was comfortable.
That's where I talk about the line kind of moving.
Sure,
and
sure.
it's different to be playful about something. It kind of goes back to like the Bill Murray thing. He's always been that way. He's fucking da-da-da. But from everything I've heard, he's never like crossed the line. But he's touchy-feely. He's
little huggy
whatever.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been accused of that too. Jay used to say that about me. Like, you hug people, and like if you ever look at pictures that Jay and I took with listeners, Jay is usually standing a foot off to the side of anybody with his hands
Afraid
like
Gab
straight
would ever
down.
see the picture.
I don't know. Keanu Reeves does this as well. Where it's like, you know what? There's not going to be a mistake about, oh, you can't see his hand because it's on my ass. That was never going to happen to Jay, and that was never going to happen to Keanu Reeves. And that's a protection. But me with listeners, it's like, come on in, guys.
Yeah,
Like, I
you
do
can't
that
see
all the
my
time.
hand because it is on the ass.
Yeah.
But that's not
the
your
amount
ass.
of pictures I've taken with fucking with Costa bent over like I'm doing her.
Right.
Like that's just like a played out joke. Now, if you were to take those individual pictures and be like, "Oh my God, this creep! Look what he did!" Blah blah blah. Like, there's no defense for that. You
No,
just
not
look like an
really.
idiot.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly. Well, it's like taking things out of context, reading the word, of what you say, but it's taken out of context.
Right.
Fucking reading back the court fucking documents
Yeah.
of what they said.
No, stop.
Right. But but the line has definitely changed, and I don't know. It's definitely less fun, but I don't know if that's really, for better or for worse. Does a hot girl look at it this way? If you have a hot chick and an ugly chick, and they both come into the office, and Mark's like, "Hey, come sit at Daddy's lap," right? But only to the hot chick, not to the ugly chick,
Right.
Okay, but just for comparison's sake.
Sure.
Right? Now, the hot chick, does she have to be subjected to that? Does she have to, you know what I mean? Like, she's there to do a job. She's not there to sit on your lap.
Right.
Right? Even if it's in jest, even if it's just playful, I get it.
Yeah.
Not saying, come here, sit on my lap so I can finger bang you. Right?
Right.
But the moose, you don't say it to. Mm-hmm. That's almost more offensive.
Yeah.
Which
is why real people in that moment would never do that. They would wait till the moose is gone for the day.
Well, I'm not even saying at the same time if they walk in. I'm just saying that there's a difference.
Oh,
And that was said to the chick because she's hot. And then
100%.
But so now it's crossed the professional level. It's changed from she's here to do the job, she's the accountant, whatever, It's changed.
Don't you think there's and maybe
are there damages? Is it worth suing over? No.
Maybe the answer to this question is 100% no. But are juvenile antics, juvenile attitudes absolutely impermissible anymore? Because if that's the case, then I got a real problem. Because I'm juvenile all the time. It doesn't mean I'm going to sexually assault someone.
No, I know.
It doesn't mean I'm going to hire someone only as a quid pro quo if they suck my dick. No, but I'm used to being in an open environment where you're, ragging on each other, needling each other, busting each other's balls and, making inappropriate cracks about women or girls or talking about, late night escapades over the weekend. Like, maybe that's like, dude, you were that was always out of line, 100%, and fuck you for even thinking that.
No, I don't. It wasn't always out of line, but like the line's changing. The line is moving.
Yeah,
and you don't have a say in the matter. Unfortunately, right. I mean, we're in a position where you don't answer to anybody, so whatever. It's not like you're going to get fired by yourself.
Well,
but you could get canceled.
And if you notice in all those allegations, Tucker was never mentioned.
No. Right.
Okay. This is like, oh yeah. But this reminds me of discussions that would absolutely be had. Mark and I shared an office, and interns would be in there before we sent them home for the day or whatever, girls and guys.
Yeah.
And we would start everything, and maybe this isn't even legal, but anybody that came in, it was like, look, if you're going to work down in this part of the building, you have to understand something, that this is a rowdy fucking boys' room, all right? And if you're going to be too easily offended by that, this probably isn't the wing to start at.
And there's a big difference, too, between somebody walking in on you and Mark having an existing conversation about something.
Yeah.
And they walk in, they're fucking cleaning or doing whatever the fuck, who gives a shit, and be offended by something you're saying, even though you're not even talking to them, and saying something to them directly in a conversation. Those are two different things, too.
Yeah.
Like overhearing somebody else's conversation offends you. Fuck off.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have been there anyway.
At the same time, you could argue that the stories that were told on the air, whether they were in interview form or throwing the ball around the room, and it's like, oh yeah, that news story reminds me of when I was in high school. Oh yeah, I had this girl, and Mike would take, Polaroids of these girls. He had a shoebox full of Polaroids of nude girls, and then he found God and threw them all away. And he'd give anything
to have it back,
to have them back, like anything.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh yeah, this one was spread eagle with a giant bush. Like that was all told on the radio. That was all told on the radio. So is there a difference between, maybe there is, being on the air telling this versus sharing that same story behind the scenes in an office?
Yes and no. Because saying it just to the masses is one thing as opposed to one-on-one. It takes a different thing. But that story probably can't be told now.
Yeah, maybe not.
Right? So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's totally different time, totally different era, totally different rules.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
It's not. I mean, at some level, yes. On some level, no. Right? I mean, I'm not going to say it's all bad, but it's definitely not all good.
Yeah.
It's going too far. It's sucking the air out of the room.
When you get a Coke can,
but
and you
really, no
too
chick
much,
should have to go to work and have somebody ask her to sit on her lap, even in jest.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, those are the things. I'm not saying he's an asshole for it. I'm just using it as an
and I'm talking about something that would have happened in '97.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you're talking about so long ago. It was a different world. But if you take a beer can or a Coke can and you shake it up and you shake it enough, it's eventually going to blow its top. And that's kind of how I feel like if you don't give guys an avenue to be themselves at least a little bit with their boys, you know, whether it's blowing off steam after
Well, there's a
work.
time and a place for everything, too.
Is there, though?
Sure. I mean, if you're hanging out with your boys, what's the repercussions on that?
Well, if you go out as a crew from the office, say you go to Applebee's after work for beers, and it's me and Mark and whoever else, and then a couple girl interns, and we're having beers and we're laughing and joking and throwing the ball around. Like, to me, the worst thing you can do is go, fuck them. I don't even want to talk to them. I don't want to hire them. I don't need this headache. I'm never going to have this headache with a guy intern, and that's illegal as shit. And I would never do that.
Well, I wouldn't guarantee that anymore either.
What?
That you wouldn't have that problem with a guy intern.
Yeah, that's true.
So like
that's
I said,
true.
it's just a different time. And yeah, you are a dinosaur.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if that's an insult or a compliment anymore.
It's more of a compliment to me.
Right.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, man. Like I said, I mean, times are changing. We're watching it fucking fall apart.
Yeah.
And evolve or die, I suppose, because it doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon. So,
No.
you unfortunately, you have to play by the rules of the game.
Yeah.
That's just it. You don't get to make your own rules until.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how that goes, because there's going to be a place for that to have an outlet. That can is going to blow its fucking lid at some point. And so whether that means you send these people darker onto the darker places on the web.
Well, I think it's going to sort of fucking curve back the other direction.
Pendulum swing, you
Yeah,
think?
yeah. I mean, not totally. It'll never go back to what it was, But I think there's peaks and valleys, and I think we're getting to the point now where it's like even most people are like, oh, Jesus Christ, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Let's reel this back in.
There are some reports that Carlson was fired because Rupert Murdoch's fiance viewed him as a prophet from God.
Oh boy. Yeah. Well,
I hope there's some truth to that.
We'll see about that.
It ultimately led to Murdoch breaking up with her. Other reports tried to suggest his firing was connected to the Dominion lawsuit, although he was mostly not a part of that. Honestly, I remember the reporting then. Company's lawyers told Carlson as they prepared to go to trial with Dominion, they had persuaded the court to redact from legal documents an instance of when he called a senior Fox News executive a cunt in a private message. So Carlson allegedly told colleagues at the network that he wanted the world to know what he said about this executive. It's like, don't cover that up in court papers.
Let it go. Yeah.
Absolutely. So it
You want to be
says,
called a cunt? Stop being a cunt.
it says C amperstamp. So was it cock or cunt? I'm assuming it's cunt.
As long as it's a check, I assume it's a cunt.
You
They
can call
coulda
a
left
guy a
it-
cunt.
You could, well, yeah, for sure. But do you could have left the T on the end. Come on.
Yeah, that
Right?
would have helped.
Exactly. And
We've
you
run
could-
into this before. It's bullshit.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Leaving it up to me.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was great that he wanted. He had Carlson had disregard for management and colleagues were a major factor in the decision. Blah blah blah. Said yeah, if you have disdain for the executives, you're on the right track.
Generally speaking.
Yeah,
Especially when
that
you're
is
in
not
a corporate world like that.
that is not a sign to me that something's off. In fact, that's a winning sign to me that you're not just going to fall in line with what the chief says.
Right.
You know, fuck that.
Yeah. I've never been a huge Tucker guy. I haven't watched a ton of it. I've watched enough.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
He's very good. I understand why
that's all I was
people.
going to say is right. I mean, he's people. He's a lightning rod. People are one side or the other for sure.
Yeah.
But the one thing I will say is that I've always found him generally likable.
Yeah.
Especially when he does sort of the long form interviews, the Kid
Love
Rock
it.
stuff, some of the offset when he's not just up there just spewing a speech.
Yep.
When he's actually interacting with somebody,
Yeah.
you see it a little bit more.
His interviews when you see him out of that set.
Yeah, that's what they just said.
And yeah, no, I know. I'm thinking of a different time though, specifically a podcast that he did that was very, and you know what? He was very open and honest about, regrets he had about kind of that shitty attitude about, whatever it might have been. Like, oh yeah, I just took, he was calling himself out for just towing the company line about the war in Iran or Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And and just giving them the benefit of the doubt instead of going, no, wait a minute. So I think there's a learning and a growing up that comes with that. And, I hope we can all have that kind of attitude. We're not the same as we were 20 years ago.
No.
You know what
We're
I
not
mean?
the same we were 2 years ago.
No, exactly. Exactly.
It's a very fluid situation.
It is for all of us.
Hey, when you support our sponsors, you support TDC, and we appreciate that more than you know. So if you're in the market for something new, pre-loved, or you just want to sell your car, then give our friends at Zod a shot. They've been with us since the beginning, and they love taking care of you. Get out there today and lease a 22 Bronco Sport Big Bend all-wheel drive as low as $298 a month, or you can buy the damn thing for 1.9% financing. You can stop by Zot and lease a 22 Explorer XLT as low as $282 a month, or you can buy that cheeky bastard for 1.9% financing. Finally, you can lease a 22 Ford F-150 Super Crew for $244 a month or lower. Yeah, you could actually save $20 to $50 a month if you qualify for a Ford private offer. Give Anthony or Gabarra a call and see if you are eligible. Plus, you can buy this bad boy for 2.9% financing as well. Get details and search Zot Ford's banging inventory at dealsinthed.com.
Did you listen to NPR today? Weigh in? Or?
I did, but I don't think there was anything noteworthy.
Fresh Air. Are you familiar with Fresh Air?
One of their shows, yes.
You are? Okay. I'm not.
I don't.
With any of their
I don't.
shows.
I know of it. I don't. It's not in my drive time, so I don't hear it.
Okay.
Oh no, I shouldn't say that.
Do they
What's
run
the-
promos
what's the
for other
twat-
shows
It's
during
a
the day?
chick that does that. Fresh Air with what's her name?
I don't know.
Okay.
There was a journalist that was on this show, Fresh Air,
Oh, okay.
and promoted the idea that the desire to be thin stems from white supremacy.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Why
So
wouldn't
I
it?
was really hoping you would have heard this. It's
No.
journalist Virginia Soul Smith appeared on the show yesterday.
Terry Gross, by the way. I think it's
Terry
the host.
Gross?
I think
Okay.
I think that's the host.
That's a
of
big name.
Fresh Air, yeah.
Okay. So anyway, Virginia Soul Smith was on the show to discuss her new book, Fat Talk, Parenting in the Age of Diet Culture, which includes a theory that fat phobia can be traced back to the end of slavery in the U.S.
Okay.
Okay, I think of it as more like coming of age in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like-
because you did.
No. I mean, like in general, like society.
Mm-hmm.
You fat people as individual one-offs always existed.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until the 80s where, oh my God, the majority of young people are getting fat in America. Like that wasn't a thing in the 50s,
Oh, right.
60s, 70s.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have like,
Yeah.
half the classroom was obese.
Because food was natural and kids played outside and
Exactly.
all that kind of shit.
Exactly. So for her to say, well, this idea of being thin traces back to slavery, it's like, no, people were thin in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. They got a little heavier, 90s, hello, and 2000s, fuck off. You know, everyone's huge now.
McDonald's.
Yeah. Her argument is that when slavery was abolished and African Americans started gaining rights, white supremacists sought to maintain old inequalities by demonizing black bodies and glamorizing thinness.
Wait, so black people weren't thin? I would
Yeah.
think slaves have been like really thin.
Yeah,
I
I would
just-
too.
I mean, I
or
don't-
shredded.
Well,
I mean,
both.
what,
Yeah,
what with all the
exactly.
working in the fields and shit.
Well, my point is just not overweight.
No,
I would not.
In fact, I mean, I'm sure there was an Aunt Jemima or two out there in the fields.
Yeah, maybe not in the fields.
Maybe, I don't know.
Working around the house, maybe, but I don't know about
Yeah.
in the fields.
This is really about maintaining systems of white supremacy and patriarchy.
Oh, fuck off.
Someone's
sick
got to
of-
sell a book.
I'm just so sick of everything being fucking racially fucking tied.
Yeah.
I really am.
And you know what? If you're a fat person writing a book and trying to tie
Yeah, I was gonna say,
an
how big is
obsession
this
with,
house?
of course she's fucking
Monster.
fat as shit.
Yeah.
And you know what? Stop. You've eaten too much. It's what we've all done. We've gorged ourselves in this, Sodom and Gomorrah way. We can't get enough of everything. That's the way we act. You know, it used to be when little Bobby Walters went to school and his mom made him a sandwich, and my dad's talked about this. 2 pieces of white bread, 1 slice of bologna, and a little mustard. That was your fucking lunch.
Yeah.
Like, think about how we pile sandwiches together now, make these cartoon sandwiches every day, and, you put 14 pieces of bacon and 3 pieces of, like, it's what we do.
Yeah. We love our excess.
Yeah.
And our carbs.
So let's not act like, oh yeah, if it wasn't for slavery, oh yeah. It's like, no. These people are unbelievable.
That's not even worth the fucking air you're giving it.
I know,
Fuck this
probably
idiot.
not. Celebrating a thin white body as the ideal body is a way to other and demonize black and brown bodies.
Wait a minute. Why
Bigger
wait,
bodies.
Wait. Where? So she just went. Is it about being thin or is it about being white? What are we talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to ask
So a thin
Virginia
black
Soul
body and a
Smith.
thin brown body sucks, but a thin white body is the only thing okay, bitch? What are you
I
talking
would say
about?
those are the blackface bodies of white supremacy.
I guess. I mean, I don't know what I don't even know what she's trying to say.
And how do you explain fat white chicks then,
And the
dummy?
shitty part is that I this fucking interview that this idiot went on.
Yeah.
She just got her dick sucked this whole time. Not one
I
person
guarantee it.
not pushed back and been like, all right, hold on a second. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you trying to say here?
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah. Wow, I never really thought of it that way. I'm so glad you came in and told us about that. I feel guilty about being thin. I'm going to go get fat right now.
Yeah.
So I'm not fucking
Yeah.
accused
What
of being
is
a
the
white
takeaway?
I don't know.
That's a great point, though. What is the takeaway message? Like, I need to pack on pounds
I
so
guess, right.
to combat white supremacy? Like, stop.
I can promise you I'm not going to read the book and find out.
Hell no. She identifies as small fat and advocated making the term neutral as opposed to derogatory as a way to take all the power out of the word. No, we all know what fat is, sweetheart.
Yeah.
You call yourself small fat,
Right.
tiny fat,
Well, we all
whatever
know
you
that there's,
want.
well, yeah, of course there's levels of fat.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Small fat. If you want to call yourself small fat, great.
Knock yourself
You're
out.
still fat.
You know what you're known to us as? 6 beers.
Biggin.
6 beers deep. Maybe 6 beers.
Yeah.
I don't know, 9 beers.
You may not be friggin' huge.
Yeah.
Or a house or a moose. But you're biggin.
Yeah, you might be a 6-pack away
Thick.
from, if I was going to hit it, 6, 8 beers deep, probably. We make it something that can't be weaponized against us. And that really is the first step towards starting to dismantle anti-fat bias. Here's the problem with fat bias.
Will you pick a point and stick with it?
Right.
bitch?
She's
What
all
are
over
you-
the map.
You are all over the place.
Yeah. Well, Here's the thing,
probably
too.
angry.
Here's the thing with this, trying to tie this into you're looking for victimhood is what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to find a way that people feel sorry for you in your situation. The problem is, unless you have a glandular issue, you did this to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
No black person goes, well, I was in the sun too long and look at me now. I'm too black. Now everyone I was just a normal white guy and now I got too tan and I'm black now. No, you fucking ate yourself to look like that, Miss Small Fat.
Yeah.
And you call yourself whatever you want. Call yourself anything you want. The fact is, we all think the same thing when you walk by.
Right.
Well, there goes a big one.
There's probably something in her day, I guess.
Yeah. About 20 years ago and 6 beers. I'm telling you. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. This whole idea of...
Listen, the fact that anybody can just spew this garbage is, and there might be some validity to wherever, but the point is, why?
Yeah.
Why? What are you talking about? What are you saying? What's the point
Yeah.
of what you're doing? Is it factual? Is it...
Maybe it's just like, I'm going to come out with a book that is so absurd, it will generate interview requests and possibly say, maybe fat people will buy the book to make themselves feel better.
Maybe.
Maybe that's the goal. Like, and they could be playing the game too, knowing that dipshits like me are going to grab this story and go, are you out of your mind? And so that it just promotes their book more, which I haven't done. So fuck her.
Yeah, I hope
Figure
you didn't
that out
say-
yourself.
I hope you didn't say the name of it.
I didn't.
Good, thank you. Appreciate
I don't
that.
think I did anyways.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Hey, this part of the show is brought to you by Your Insurance Expert. Are you paying too much for health insurance? Are you uninsured? Health insurance can be confusing. Our boy Nick Matthews from Your Insurance Expert is an expert in health insurance, life insurance, and Medicare supplements, so you don't have to be. Call Nick Matthews at 248-914-1173. That's 248-914-1173.
Were your girls Barbie girls growing up?
No.
No?
Nope.
I don't think Mad Dog really is either. She's got an American doll.
Yeah. No,
Have you seen those?
No, nobody are. Barbies were dead before they fucking...
Really?
Yeah. Well, because Barbies are shit fucking dolls. Like,
Yeah.
That's like 70s, 80s stuff.
Yeah.
By
Or
the time
longer,
I-
but like 50s,
whatever.
60s.
I mean, my kids were like, they had cool toys by the time
Did they?
were growing up.
But Barbie's still a thing. I mean,
Well, yeah, it's still, they're hanging on for dear life, but
Yeah.
I can't imagine they're killing it
What
these days.
what were your kids into? Was it like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles era, or
As
I
far as,
think-
I mean, neither of them really did dolls. Like,
Yeah.
No.
When
not
did you
really.
first
I mean,
know
they had American Dolls.
Oh, they did. Those are kind of expensive,
yeah,
too.
I know.
That breaks the bank a little bit.
Yeah, I'm killing it. Nothing's too good for my girls. But I mean, they also didn't. I mean, like when I think of Barbie, I think of like going through the whole shit of like fucking
Dress it up
fucking
and-
Ken and bumping fucking Bear Uglies.
Why,
and
did we all
shit.
do that?
Yeah.
Like rip their clothes off and have them scissor Ken.
Rip
with
their
his-
head off and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
cut their hair. Yeah.
Doesn't grow back.
Mattel has shown it's committed to inclusivity with the release of its first ever Barbie.
Can we get Bad Barbie?
Bad Bitch Barbie?
Bad Barbie. That's that fucking Cash Me Outside bitch.
Oh, yeah. No, this one is Down syndrome Barbie.
Oh. Do we have a picture?
We do.
Oh, thank God.
Now, I feel like if there's a Down, one of the things, if you've listened to this show for any length of time,
Okay.
you would say what we've often said, which is like, I feel like I've seen that guy before.
Yeah. Well, there's.
There's a look. And there's no bigger champion for the Downs community than me.
Nope.
I love the Downs.
Sure, but
those kids.
Let's not act like there's not a look.
Exactly. Okay. If you're gonna go look at Asian Barbie, there's some certain liberties you're gonna have to take.
Yeah.
To make it Asian Barbie, right? That one is hearing aid Barbie,
Oh boy.
wheelchair Barbie. But the Down syndrome one.
I mean, they definitely did something with the eyes.
Do you think? I don't.
They definitely did a little something. I need to be able to zoom this thing in.
Clear, because she's got like braces on her feet. I didn't know this was a Downs thing. That they wear special little braces.
I didn't
A
either.
lot of them apparently do.
Okay. I didn't know that either.
No,
Is that? Do they have like a neck brace too? Is that part of it, or is that supposed to be a necklace?
I think that's just a necklace.
Oh, maybe it's a whole body brace thing. We don't know what's going on there.
No, I think it's just the braces for the feet. If I looked at that doll,
You wouldn't go.
I wouldn't go, oh,
You
yeah,
haven't
it's
seen
got-
that doll before
no,
somewhere?
No, I wouldn't say, oh, that doll clearly has Down syndrome because
Right.
there's clearly a look. That's not I'm not being mean. I'm not punching down.
I'd say Barbie's looks a little bloated. There's a little water weight.
Yeah.
Messing a bit.
So, the doll was created with the help of U.S.'s National Down Syndrome Society and is designed to resemble someone who was born with the condition.
Is this vitiligo Barbie? Or
Yeah,
is this,
it is.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, fuck
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
She looks more
Well,
like Paul Stanley from Kiss.
I know. I didn't know if that was like a cyborg Barbie or like it was like
Yeah.
a robot arm or
Nah, it's
something.
vitiligo. Vitiligo.
Gotcha.
Or
Oh,
Vitiglio. I don't care which.
there you go. There's IED Barbie.
Oh, yeah. Barbie with a blown up
Yeah.
leg,
Yeah.
fake leg.
Iraq veteran Barbie.
Yeah.
Again.
So since
Do we really
Barbie,
need? Do we really need both?
wheelchair and blown off leg? Yeah. Hold on. Since the first Barbie was unveiled in 1959, the toy maker has been looking for ways to innovate and to represent more children around the world, especially through its inclusive doll line, Fashionistas. In 22, Mattel made headlines. It launched the first ever doll with pink hearing aids, citing the importance for children to feel reflected in the dolls they play with.
Oh, you have to see. You have to have a doll that looks like you. I've been saying that forever.
And encourages kids to play with toys that don't resemble them to help them understand and celebrate the importance of inclusion.
Just smacking this doll around. Why won't you listen to me, Barbie?
Yeah.
Listen to what I'm. Don't you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, why don't they have Barbie with hand bruises on her cheek? You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't shut the fuck up, Barbie.
Trailer Park Barbie.
Yeah, Trailer Park Barbie and Ken beat the shit out of her Barbie.
Ken in a white tank top.
Ken with a bloated beer belly, drunk dad Barbie.
Comb
That'd be
over.
great. 5 o'clock shadow all the time.
Right?
What about AIDS Barbie? I mean, if we're including everybody, why not AIDS Barbie or Junkie Barbie? Homeless Ken.
Sure. Just a belt around her fucking arm.
Yeah,
Fucking
with a
needle
little
hanging
needle.
out.
Fucking one eye open, one eye closed.
I suck your dick.
Suck your dick.
Is this blackface Barbie? What is this one?
Yeah, that looks like blackface
Extra,
Barbie.
right? Doesn't it?
Yeah, you just put blackface on a white Barbie. Don't give me that shit like that's a new Barbie.
Oh boy! Oh, now we
Oh,
got to
that's-
have a white bar. So you got to have every possible combination. You got to have white chicks with no legs, black chicks with no legs. Everybody's got to have their own representation.
Yeah. Why would how many Barbies went to the Middle East and fought? Like,
Hey, there's small fat Barbie. I think. What is this one?
oh, is that short fat Barbie?
Oh, the curvy Barbie.
Oh, yeah. We see what you did there.
Here's the I'll pass Barbie.
Here's the staying on the store shelves Barbie.
Yeah, here's Ken's co-pilot Barbie.
Ken's wingman Barbie. Here's homely Barbie.
I think I know that girl.
Yeah, I think I know her too. Nah. Thought I did.
Right? Oh, there's Ken's wingman.
One guy. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Right? Blow that thing out.
What is that? Michael Brown Barbie?
Oh, boy.
That is straight up fucking hood Barbie.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Jada Pinkett Smith Barbie.
Right? You know what's funny is I was like this. Wait. Oh, hell. Oh, there you go. I was like, oh, what's wrong with it?
What is it? Bald Barbie?
Well, yeah, but I didn't see the
yeah.
thing on the top didn't clear the hair there. Oh, that's why.
Jordan, let's see. Mattel released several dolls with permanent disabilities in 2019.
Wait, white guys have vitiligo? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I didn't
sure.
realize that.
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
Well, it's, my interpretation.
Yeah.
What was this? I didn't know all three fucking Kens were gay.
Yeah, gay as shit. Why do you
cow.
have, can't you have Ken, Steve, and Bill or whatever?
Yeah.
Their names would be, obviously those names are too white for anybody.
Fucking Fabio Barbie.
Fabio Barbie. Fabio Ken.
Oh, boy.
So they paired up with in a teen activist, Jordan Reeves, and new additions then included a Barbie in a wheelchair. Back in 2021, a black doll with an afro hair became the brand's global bestseller.
There you go. Look at that. I just hit it. Bang.
Yeah.
Right?
That's Baby Got Back Barbie.
That's
right?
fucking Foxy Cleopatra Barbie.
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. They should, how do they represent?
Is this Braces Barbie? What is this thing? Oh, yeah, it is. Where's Braces? I was trying to figure out what was going on. Still the hottest of them all.
Yeah.
And, at the end of that road, teeth are going to be fucking on point.
Yeah, they are. So, in 2019, the two best-selling Barbie fashionista dolls were ones with wheelchairs. Now, I don't think that is because it's like, oh my God, this reminds me of a friend I had in grade school who was in a wheelchair. It's to me,
the collector's aspect of it.
There's the collector's aspect. That's not bad.
Yeah.
The other one is there's more shit in the box. There's more shit in the box. When you're looking at a Barbie on the shelf and it's just like, horror Barbie, and she's just standing there and she's got her fucking mini skirt on and she's just, that's it. Mm-hmm. Or you can get the same horror Barbie, but this one comes with a fucking dope ass wheelchair and a blind man cane.
Does that apply for the Foxy Cleopatra one too? Just there's more hair, big old fro.
Yeah, it's different. It looks different.
A little junk in the trunk.
That one's got a big old fat. That's why I called it Baby Got Back Barbie.
Yeah.
Because it's got a little big old fat ass and a stupid afro, and it's like, okay.
I wish you could wind it up and make it twerk.
Twerk Barbie. Well, that's, I want to know, when they're talking about representing everybody, can they represent the trans community? How would you do that?
Oh, they will be.
How would you do that? Would you put a beard on Barbie? Mm-hmm. And then just be like, yeah, it's...
Because you can't, Ken doesn't even have a cock and balls, so you can't just put a bulge down there. Then Ken's going to be left out.
Yeah, he's a eunuch.
That's a chick's got a dick. I don't even have a dick. What the fuck?
Yeah, great point.
Just Adam's apple.
Yeah, an Adam's apple would work. I want to do bald man with lipstick and mustache and dress that steals luggage at the airport.
I was going to say, he just got fired.
Yeah. And just have him come with a luggage. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's some stylish luggage bag, and it's Biden administration, Ken.
There you go.
You know what I mean? That'd be great.
Opens it up, and it's all the other Barbie's clothes.
Yeah. All the other Barbies are giving him the what for eye. Steal all our clothes?
Mm-hmm. But you can't say anything.
That Baby Got Back Barbie, doesn't that look like one that's going to get into a fist fight at McDonald's, too?
Oh, maybe.
You know what I mean? Does it come with a world star? It comes with a Ken in the background that just keeps yelling, "World Star!"
That would be the most racist thing you've ever said.
What? About her fighting at McDonald's?
Why can't a strong black woman just be a fucking pillar in the community?
Well, she can't. She can also be one of those ones that gets into a wig tearing out fight on the front lawn.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Or the one that's doing this shit with her head at the lady working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
My fucking fries are cold. You fucked up my order.
You know what I hate the most? The fucking clapping as you talk.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to me.
Yeah, that's punchable. That's a punchable offense.
Oh, man, that's...
Really is.
Yeah. I don't even think I'm allowed to do that. I think I just crossed the line.
Should we... okay, I wanted to go Chat GPT. I watched a couple 60 Minutes for the first time in about 5 years.
Okay.
Ever since... But Mr. President, it's just not true. It's just not true. Ever since Leslie Stahl pulled that shit, I stopped watching, but my brother talked me into watching. He's like, dude, the last few episodes have been really good. They did one on the new Hubble Space Telescope, which is fucking incredible. The images that are coming back already. But they've also done quite a bit on artificial intelligence. And so it's like, oh, yeah, we're meeting with CEO Sundar Pichai or whatever from Google to talk about this shit. And I feel like these guys, you know, all sounds good, but you're acting like nobody can manipulate this stuff. And, oh, yeah, we're just going to release it little by little so the public doesn't get overwhelmed. That kind of attitude. Yeah. And I'm like, you have no idea what this is going to, like, think about real world applications and how humans are going to try to fuck with it. That's just what we do. Yeah. It's just what we do. So when this thing starts, you know, while you're getting fucking fresh conversation with a robot in your living room, that's all fine and well. But what your neighbor's doing with that fucking AI, God knows. If he's programming this thing to take out the fucking world.
Right.
We just don't know.
You don't even have to program it. Apparently that's what it wants to do in the first place.
I love this, though. There's a Chat GPT has been accused of being too woke, you know, where they were like certain things, like you could ask these things like, oh, how do you build a pressure cooker bomb? And it'd be like, oh, I can't tell you that, you know, shit like that. But then it's like people immediately try to get it to say offensive things. They want their AI to say fucking, I wonder if we can get it to say the N-word. You know, certainly guys are going to do shit like that.
Of course.
You know? And so they, Daily Mail actually asked the chatbot to generate a cliche about residents in each of the 50 states.
Okay.
So I've got a map here.
A roundabout way of stereotyping.
So isn't that, like, dude, stereotypes are based in something. We can try to ignore that all we want.
I know. They start somewhere. Right.
So name a state, and I'll tell you what the first word that the Chat GPT came up with.
Let's start with Michigan.
Michigan. Rust Belt mentality. I don't even know what that means.
Okay. I'm not
So
sure.
is that like Bible Belt, Rust Belt?
Well, no. Rust,
Where's Rust Belt is like Midwest.
yeah, well, because of this, our shit all rusts out. But I don't know what the mentality part of that is.
Yeah.
Maybe I missed that one. What about California?
California, superficial. Superficial.
That's pretty good.
Pretty spot on there.
Alaska.
Alaska, reclusive.
Kind of a fucking cop out, but all right.
Hawaii,
What?
surfers.
Oh, come on. Florida. Hey, you told me to cut.
Okay.
Don't start going random.
All right. Florida, it was like crazy. It spit out crazy.
All right.
For
okay.
Florida.
There you go. All right. Fair enough. What about, let's go with Idaho.
Idaho, okay. Gun-toting survivalists.
All right. I would have thought more Wyoming, but okay.
Yeah, for Wyoming, they have...
Gun-toting survivalists.
No. Where's Wyoming?
It's,
Isolated.
all right.
It's not terrible.
No.
Colorado, drug users.
Oh, geez. Well, get on board, man. We're all there. New York.
New York, let's see. Rude.
Okay. That's easy. Texas.
Texas, pro-gun. Alabama,
Inbred.
poor.
Oh. Okay.
Mississippi,
Poorer.
uneducated.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. ChatGPT. What are we doing here?
North Carolina, unsophisticated. South Carolina, rednecks.
Wow.
Yeah.
North Carolina, really?
Yeah.
I was lovely areas through North Carolina. The Triangle's wonderful.
Pennsylvania, unwelcoming to outsiders.
Wow, that's fucking Dr. Oz.
Massachusetts, pompous. Connecticut, uptight.
Yeah.
Rhode Island, wealthy. New Jersey, organized crime.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when given the chance, it's not a color, it's not a fucking skin tone, it's not a sex. With the world's knowledge at its fingertips, in a word, boom, and they're like hipster, druggies.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, ChatGPT is like right down the line.
No
fucking
kidding.
Stereotypes.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
they're clearly based in something.
Yeah. I don't think I pulled a, how I don't think I haven't asked Troy today,
Okay, good.
but I'll get
It doesn't have
some.
to be every day.
No. I like to hit it hard in the beginning, get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Let people do that. So why don't we do a couple emails?
Let's.
Call it a day. My Warriors are playing tonight.
Okay, tied up.
Yeah, tied at 2. They're probably gonna lose on the road today.
Yeah. Go to Game 7, lose on the road. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Although I don't
kind
know
of what I'm
if-
thinking.
have you heard? Is Fox playing?
I heard he's gonna try to play.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Broken finger, dislocated finger. Is it
Yeah,
broken?
same injury that Garoppolo had on his throwing hand.
Yeah, a little
finger.
different playing basketball. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would send some Draymond or some goons out there at first
Yeah,
just to go whacking on that hand the first couple.
straight up old school hack a shack.
Take your 12th man off the bench and just go out there
Snap.
and go give me all 5 of your fouls in the first 4 minutes.
Dude, that should just be a strategy. Just have the last 5 guys on the bench come out and fuck up all their players.
Mm-hmm.
Grab a hand and snap a finger. Ooh, we got a 5-game suspension.
Oh no!
Ooh, whatever will we do without their 13th man?
I mean, there's ways you can attack it strategically too, though. I mean, if it says his left hand, you know what I mean. Well, then he's probably not going to be as good going to his left as his
Yeah.
right. You know, so you play him, you shadow him to the left, and you force him right. Things
Those
like that.
finger ones, I mean, unless it's just a straight release and your form's all fucked up because you're swollen or. But they can usually tape those fingers up and then
You'd be amazed.
shoot them up with painkillers, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, you'd be amazed what a difference
Yeah.
even just a good jam.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had to pop them out. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you'd be amazed what a difference it can make. And I don't have the good, shoot me up drugs, so I don't feel shit.
Yeah,
but
they do.
whether you got to tape it up, even just taping it up, just that restricted mobility, just a little bit. Makes
every
a
time it
huge
touches the
difference.
ball,
and
it
depending
would
on
hurt.
what finger it is, especially if it's shooting hand, it's middle finger, last one off the ball like that.
Yeah.
That can be a real problem.
Yep. LinkedIn. I mentioned LinkedIn the other day, and they were doing
Filters by
Yeah.
race and gender and pronoun and shit.
right
So that you
so
can
that
make
they
sure
could
you
just
get
weed out anything white person.
Right.
That basically was the implication.
Yeah.
Or the reverse to that, where you could only have white person. It can go both ways. But the point of it was to weed out and be like,
Make sure you
I
don't
wanna
get a
be-
white person.
Yeah, especially a straight one.
Yeah.
Fuck those. So LinkedIn seems to just be gathering the data for companies so that they can have their applicants pre-screened in order to hire their quota. Unfortunately, a lot of big companies claim to want inclusion and diversity, which means the talent acquisition department is trying to fill roles to meet their diversity goals. You nailed it when you said diverse over quality. It is really off-putting as an employee when you see this as a company goal, knowing someone less qualified will certainly get a promotion before you. Maybe you were getting to that. It's a super frustrating topic for me, so I had to chime in. I happily screwed up my company's goal by filling one of those spots this month. Hopefully the I&D department doesn't come after me. LOL, glad you're back. That person, I'm never allowed to say their name.
Okay.
Never.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Congratulations on your promotion, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds like
and I will grant that I totally understand. It's the same thing Trav goes through when he sits here. He's like,
Don't say my
I
name.
ain't saying a fucking word. I'm not going to make comments on some topic you guys are talking about.
I love making him uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Shit sometimes.
Yeah, it works too.
I know it.
It works.
Gets all red faced.
Worthless wife's ex-husband. So this is from Kevin. Okay, I'm going.
Good. I almost did. Thanks, James.
Yeah. Nope, not James. Okay, I'm going back to episode 1725, and the Ask T-Roy part got my blood boiling about the ex-husband being a pile of dog shit. So my wife had 2 boys with this pin-dick mother effer. So being the good stepdad that I am, I put them under my health insurance. And he had health insurance on them, but as soon as they turned 18, he dropped them and only covers himself. Then has the audacity to say he can't afford it for them. Has probably $100,000 in guns and ammo, by the way. Total piece of shit. They're both in school. They're both good kids and refuses to pay the copay or anything for that matter for the boys. We cover it. Sorry to vent, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. I've had it with this fucking, and he calls him the F word.
Whoa.
Well,
All right.
well, we have a fag card. We're allowed to
Yeah,
say it. He calls him an effing faggot.
Wow. I mean, it's not your words.
No, not mine. Don't shoot the messenger.
I mean, he did knock your fucking wife up and fucking fuck her at least twice.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how much of a faggot he is.
Yeah, true. Oof.
So
Yeah.
Anyway, no, you're absolutely right. And
Is this a real thing, by the way, when you have a
What,
divorce
faggots knocking up wives?
No, no,
Oh.
no. When you have a divorced couple and it's like, oh, mom has insurance for the kids and so do you, does that like double insure you?
no, yeah, it covers.
Give you-
We have our kids are double insured.
Really?
Yeah, we have insurance. We both have insurance on it. So basically, I mean, so we don't pay copays essentially. Like my insurance is primary, so that covers their normal stuff, and then there'd be a $30 copay for visits or whatever.
Yeah.
But then it gets submitted to their insurance, and their insurance pays.
So they know how to do that and which one to
I mean, you
like
have to tell
tag
them.
your,
I mean,
yeah.
you have to do it. But yeah, if you have dual insurance like that, it pays for itself.
Okay, this is from James. Cool cops. Now, I'm going to have to, and you're going to have to assume where he's going because he doesn't say.
Okay.
Do you know how cool cops would be if there were none? I don't know exactly what he's saying. I hate to think the worst,
Well, you know,
but I'm going to think the worst.
no, I think he's just saying if we didn't have cops at all, that'd be even better. But if we didn't have cops at all, it would be fucking chaos.
Do you know how cool cops would be if there were none?
I'm assuming cops.
I was thinking he was thinking black people. That maybe we were watching some video of a cop with a black. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna have to.
Oh, I was
interpret.
thinking. I took that as how cool cops would be if there were no cops.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Then they'd just be us.
Yeah, I think that was the point. I didn't think that was anything deeper than that. But you never know with James.
You never know. Touch a trunk. When I was at the academy, it was drilled into us to always, always, always touch the trunk or deck lid.
Yeah.
It was an automatic fail on the exercise if you didn't. They never told us why. I could never get a real answer, no matter how much I asked. Good call, T.
Yeah, boy.
I didn't
See,
know that was a
I
thing.
know
That's great.
things. I know things.
I love it.
Yeah. So I called them out for shitty police work.
Let's see. Just do away with all police and prisons. God bless you, anarchists. You claim support of the blue and then advocate for prisoners to have their balls stroked constantly. Fuck that bedbug fuck. He got better than he deserved. Fully acceptable on every level. In fact, his family should be eaten alive by bedbugs for bitching.
Thanks, James.
Yeah. Look, I know what he's talking about. I am very set in my ways on this one. That
Yeah.
that I understand people get punished for crimes committed as they should be, as we all should be. When that happens, that does not mean you're forced to eat maggots.
Yeah, you shouldn't
and
become
get butt
subhuman
fucked.
for it.
Yeah, no, we're better than that.
Yeah, your punishment is being incarcerated.
Yes.
Yes, but you shouldn't be subjected. Now, you know, are you going to get a fucking Barca Lounger and pina coladas?
No, no one asked for that.
Right, but
How about we don't feed them piles of dog shit
and
for
you know,
dinner?
get fucked all the time.
Yeah, and rape, unless you want to change the court system, you go, I hereby sentence you to 12 years in state penitentiary, where I encourage people to rape your butthole at least once a week while you enjoy maggots for dinner at least twice a week. I rest my case. Whatever. The judge has spoken. At least you go, well, he knew what he was
said
in
it.
for.
Yeah, that's
he
your
warned
sentence.
him. You know, he's going to get butt fucked once a week, and he was
This
going to
is
have to
your
eat maggots for dinner twice a week.
This is your sentence. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
What are we going to do?
To me, it's like, look, we all make mistakes, and there, but for the grace of God, go I. I can honestly say that there have been many, many occasions where I could have easily been picked up in some nonsense and be staring at a fucking judge trying to explain some nonsense away.
Sure.
And the last thing I'd want is to, have to spend the next 3 weekends in jail. And by the way, you're going to be raped and fucking fed maggots. No.
Right.
No. You put me on a timeout. I'll learn my lesson from that, but don't mentally ruin me. The point is not to mentally destroy
To be
someone.
rehabilitated and come out as a better person.
Right. Not way worse.
I don't know if anybody comes out better.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Even
No.
guys that didn't even go in that bad.
Yeah.
Come out worse.
For sure. Hey, send your emails along, walters@detroitcast.com. Love hearing from you people, no matter what you have to say. Really do. And I know we spent quite a bit of time on Tucker Carlson tonight. It's an intriguing story. Of all the people in media, to me, that one's more intriguing than most.
Yeah, I feel
Just-
like
just because-
there's definitely something else to the story that
Well,
I can't wait to come. I'm amazed that he hasn't issued a statement, and that's going to be very telling.
Yeah.
When he
he
does.
probably knows that it'll be a big deal when he does. It'll be very, very newsworthy, and he knows how to let something sit and pick up steam.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
momentum.
Yeah, he's not. But I mean, it could be. if there's nothing there and he wants it to be a big nothing burger, he could put out a nothing burger statement.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, as far as it was, I didn't see it coming. I'm disappointed with their decision. I had a great time with them. I wish them all the best. And
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. Whatever.
100% there's more to this story. Just
definitely.
After that many years of being number one, unquestioned number one,
Yeah.
you don't get a we wish him well in his future endeavors.
Yeah.
Text.
Right. And not,
you know what I mean?
like
that. That's
like Lemon had a fucking a trajectory.
right.
You know, we watched him go to the minors and then fucking
Yeah.
bat 084 and then get broomed.
Yeah.
But
I
Tucker
never saw it
didn't.
coming. I was stunned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
And-
because you didn't stop looking in the mirror.
Exactly. Without all those like things like, oh yeah, Tucker Carlson, you know, made me suck his dick in the. There's no Matt Lauer stuff to this where he had a button on his desk he could push that would lock the doors. You know, like that doesn't exist. So when you have someone that's not harassing people, unless you consider your team putting a fucking Christmas tree in the booking lounge
unacceptable,
at the
man.
holidays,
Right.
I mean, if that's what we're down to, like, oh my God, he's anti-Semitic, like, okay, you know, stop it, stop the world, let me off, we're done.
Frivolous.
But when you don't have those over and over stories of the, Bill O'Reilly's sexual harassment, or who was the other
Lauer.
guy? Matt Lauer, and who was Chris, whatever, shit.
Hansen.
Like Rose or something. It was like a pillar of the community in broadcasting and all that. It turns out he was fucking trying to finger every girl that walked into his orb, you know, his orbit. Whatever.
Can't blame a guy
this
for
one's-
trying, right?
Hell no, especially when they get older. I get it. Anyway, why don't we call it a day there? Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. I'm going to say it. Go Warriors tonight.
Go Warriors. Why not?
Why not?
Sure.
Right? If they lose this one, it's over. So, yeah, I'd like to see them move on. And with that, we'll call it a day. Thank you, T. Roy.
Certainly.
And we will see you tomorrow.